Bang, bang, bang. We back. It's the motherfucking No Invite podcast. You know I'm never going to stop saying that, Patty, by the way. You know that, right? And what's crazy is, like I told y'all before, the inspiration from that comes from Pop from Friday. You know, because, you know, he was like, bang, 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 all night long. Like, that was his thing, right? So I'm like, you know, I've said it before on the podcast. I'll say it again. I used to start off with, like, you know what it is, but that's like the generic... Everybody don't know what it is. Some people might not know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like the generic fucking, you know, like...
The thing that everybody says.
The generic thing that everybody says. So I wanted to come up with something different. And I remember Pop. Say. And it's crazy now because now, you know, we wanted to kick off the episode saying R.I.P. Sending out another shout out. R.I.P. to Tiny Zeus Lister. You know, all y'all that grew up from that era.
Rest in peace. And Pops.
Pops too. Pops rest in peace too. But it's been a year now, and now he's Debo up there. You know what I mean? The next Friday episode is gonna be lit because they're gonna have the heaven version of Friday is gonna be lit. They already got Pops and Debo up there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe another 30 years, 40 years from now, you know what I mean? They'll get the whole reunion. You know what I'm saying? Up in heaven, we'll get that in the Hulu version. You know what I'm saying?
Mansion.
Mm-hmm. Up there with Pac and all that, you know, but R.I.P. to him. He passed away. They don't really know why, and I'm not going to sit here and speculate. But it's whack. You know, 2020 is ruthless. 2020 has no fucking conscience whatsoever. So if you're expecting mercy, and if you're expecting things to get lighter in 2021, please don't.
I try. Why are you so cynical?
Well, it's not cynical. It's just being real. It's just look.
I was about to say the exact opposite. Please proceed, though.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying this is life, yo, and life is like this sometimes. So it's like if you think 2020 is gonna be better or worse, it's just gonna be life. That's all it is. Life is gonna do what it do. We got this Corona thing going on, and you know everybody's looking at 2020 like it's gonna be the savior. And I hear people talking about all the time. It's like, look,
what,
man,
2021?
2021, yeah, it's gonna be like the savior, the new president, and all this other shit. It's like, look, dude, life is gonna be life regardless.
So, are you referring that Biden is the savior, or are you referring to the year in general, or like they're both kind of
people are now. I'm not referring to none of them as any of my savior. What I'm saying is that
that's what I'm saying.
When you say
other people are saying that.
When you see people on there and they're talking about how I'm tired of 2020, 2021 gonna be this and it's gonna be better, and it's like I'm not saying it's not gonna be better, and I'm not saying it's gonna be worse. Right. All I'm saying it's just gonna still be life. And life is going to be what it is.
About every new year.
Yeah, and then they talk the same thing about
especially
Biden,
the ones that end in like 0 or like the pinnacle ones. People always are like, yeah, you know, new year, new me.
Well, think about it. Everybody was like 2020 before it came in.
Everybody was saying that.
2020 is going to be the year. It's going to be this and that. And Corona came around and shut all that shit down.
Everyone was saying that. Like, so I don't disagree with you on that. They do say that though. You know, it's like that. It's the whole self-perpetuations that people do. You know?
I believe that too. Like I said, it's just gonna. That's why I didn't say negative or positive. It's just gonna be life. It's still gonna be life. Life's still gonna go on. It's still gonna be doing what we do. We're gonna have to adapt and strive and try to make it better for ourselves. Yeah.
It's all about choices.
For all y'all that don't know, we got Patty in the building, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Patty P World. You know what I mean? In the building. Last week was Steph. Steph's gonna be coming through more often.
It was so nice to hear Steph on here again.
It was good. It was good to have Steph back. You know what I mean? Steph was a fixture, and let's be real. She wrote it out quite a few episodes last year before she had to go handle her business and shit. So the people really liked her. You know what I'm saying? And the people really like you on the mic. So it's like I'm glad that you guys are doing your part and being consistent in this too. You know what I mean?
Thank you for having us,
man, this is yours just as much as it is mine. You know, I told you that already. So I'm just glad y'all here because I don't like to be.
It's like, why am I wearing the headphones?
Yeah, I'm wearing the headphones. It's like, yeah, I can hear myself. You know what I mean? But stop making fun of me, Patty.
What time is it?
Yeah, I'm off. Extend the elbow when I check my watch.
I apologize. We digress.
Nah, but it's good. I mean, it's the podcast. This is what the fuck we do. But yeah, I mean, it was good having Steph on. She's always got a great, dope perspective. Mm-hmm. People really liked when we were doing the trio thing and we were in there, and it was good. So, you know, I'm glad that we actually were able to get her back on, find out more or less what she was up to. Like I don't really know like a lot of her business. She don't really tell me like, and I prefer that. But she had to handle her business, so the fact that she was able to double back and actually make it, which was pretty cool.
It was nice. To
and a lot of people had a good response, a lot of good feedback from that episode. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Steph. You know, Steph be mobbing sometimes. Steph. You know, we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna keep her on the rotation. You know what I mean?
Nice to hear you back on the mic, girl.
Mm-hmm. So what's up? How was your week?
Good.
Yeah.
No news is good news, right?
No news is definitely good news. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
unless you're looking for a job and you're waiting for a callback, then you know what I mean?
Gosh, there's exceptions to every rule, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, but for the most part.
Yeah, feeling good. Like, kind of feel discombobulated a little bit.
Is it the weather or?
No, I love the weather. I love whatever God gives us. Like,
yeah,
it's nice.
It's raining outside.
I love it. Like, whatever He gives us.
We needed it.
I like the rain. You know, like it washes everything away. It starts anew, right. Cleans everything.
That's right.
No, just kind of like not too sure-footed. Kind of feel like there's like people say the Great Reset in that sort of way, but in that way, but not in that way. But just like feel like trying to like die off on old habits and develop like a whole new.
Well, you're in a moment of change. You're in a period of change in your life, so it's like I feel you on that.
I feel like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And it's the end of the year. Like, it's like as much as people want to say, like, even me, for instance, like that life is still gonna be life or whatever. But it's the end of the year, and it's a way to renew something or
like a new
brand
horizon.
New start. Yeah, it's like
I don't know how to describe it exactly.
Yeah, a fresh start. You know, at things. So, I mean, I don't know. My week was cool. I ain't got no complaints. Just been trying to do my best, you know what I mean? There's a lot of hype and hysteria going on right now, you know, with all this COVID shit. The numbers are rising, and I'm pretty much done for the year as far as going and doing anything else. I ain't got no studio sessions, I ain't got no functions, I ain't got nothing really that I'm gonna do anywhere. I'm in for the year until like probably mid-January.
And well, not everybody, but Contra Costa chose to shut down again anyways for 3 weeks until January 4th, I believe. So the county was already kind of like...
It was already on that vibe anyways. It's just, you know, it's the hysteria is kicking in though. I'm starting to see people like it's starting to get ridiculous with the food now. You know what I mean? People are starting to hoard again. Yeah, man. It's
Where? I don't see that where I go. I see the lines because they can't allow the stores.
Reduced capacity, yeah.
Yes, but... That was interesting because I went to one of my clients' places, and we were just talking, catching up, and...
Patty's a loan shark, by the way, so she went to one of her clients. She went to go collect some money and shit.
Do not listen to
Let me stop. I'm playing, by the way, y'all. Before y'all motherfuckers run with that clip and just fucking try to get Patty indicted and shit. And start calling me names
funny.
And shit.
You're so funny. And she was saying that people, you know, over there were starting to do that. Like it was hard, but this was like a few weeks ago.
Because they seen it coming, like
something like that. Well, because people started talking about it again on the rise numbers, then they were already like talking about it again. They were already mentioning that's going to be out there again. So they started to do it, and I was like, well, where I stay, everything's normal still. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe. I was super relieved to see this because I'm like, okay, maybe we got it the first time. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen. So people were preparing. Yeah. You know, we didn't know what a lockdown meant. People didn't know if Walmarts were still going to be open or grocery stores, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. So I'm like, okay, now this time it's happening again, but I'm not seeing the hysteria. I'm not. I was like kind of proud of my community, honestly, because I was like, okay, we learned what it was the first time. It wasn't that dramatic. Now we can we get it, but now we don't have to be so, again, hysterical about it.
I think it's a combination, but you're right though. No, because I've seen people post like, "Come on, you guys already," and with bare shelves
on social.
But people I know. Wow. So I take it a little bit more serious when it's people I know rather than just somebody that's like clickbaity and trying to fucking build up their audience or whatever. Like, it's like people just random post like, "Come on now, y'all, you guys are already doing this shit." And I really feel like to me, and it's just the observation, I feel like a lot of people from our community are doing bad right now. So a lot of them, even if they wanted to, they can't go and fucking buy up shit.
We were talking about there. She was saying, oh, well, maybe because they don't have the money to buy up stuff. Yeah. And I was like, but that didn't stop us the first time. That did not stop. We've
well,
never
the first
really...
time we still weren't seeing the residual effects of this of Corona. Like a lot of people, there was still more people employed. There was still more people that had their jobs.
Definitely, because it wasn't. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So the reservoir was still there, like some sort of financial reservoir.
Yeah, so
there.
now this.
I
is
get
like,
that, but I don't know, like, because people are still spending. If that was the case, online shopping wouldn't be up. Uber Eats and DoorDash wouldn't be up. Like, people have money. And they're spending it somewhere, because that's not how are these corporations getting even richer and richer than they were before. We're spending money. We're definitely spending money.
Yeah, the money's out there and the money's getting spent.
So I don't know. These are the questions.
I'm just speaking on like our level as far as like in our area, like.
But we noticed a lot of people eat out in our area, and we know necessarily that we are not in like where a lot of the people here are lower middle class or middle class.
I don't know about middle class. It's more like lower class and no class, because it's like motherfuckers is doing bad. You don't even know like.
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying like our community, like you've seen it, how the whole community has changed, the infrastructure, everything, it's changed because people are now spending more, people who are whatever's going on, and now our generation is older and we want to have good jobs, we want to make money, we have learned from our elders' mistakes and we're trying to do it the right way. So we actually are kind of like, whether we realize it or not, we're not how we were off before. We are doing better. So we, like I said, like lower middle class, some shit like that, not middle, like white suburbia middle class.
That's right, Buffy.
But I'm talking about like where like we have the money to spend on those sorts of luxuries, but we shouldn't necessarily do so. Yeah. So I think if we had the money still, people would still be doing it towards the other sorts of items. People, I don't know.
Also, and it could be it could be a combination of a lot of shit. Because I also feel like people also are like, man, fuck this bullshit. Like they're not tired. They're not getting as scared as they were when the shit was first kicking off. You know what I mean?
That's what I was like, kind of proud. Like, okay, this is what it is, but we don't have to act like that.
Exactly. We don't have to act like that. It ain't necessary. And I told my girls, like, look, this is gonna happen come the winter time, because it's the winter time is flu season. So people are going to be getting sick regardless. And when people don't know if it's corona or if it's the flu or not, people are going to panic and they're going to run out. They're going to go do what they want because the numbers are going to look maybe inflated even. People are, because they're not going to be sure what it is.
Exactly.
People are putting themselves in danger because maybe I got the flu and I'm going to the emergency room and then maybe I'm exposing myself now to fucking corona. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think it's weird that the vaccine is supposedly here now.
That's crazy. That's so fast.
They say that this vaccine doesn't have any corona in it.
I
the
still
flu,
need to get
the flu vaccine got
there's so much information to gather from it. I still need to collect more information to make like an informed opinion about anything. But it's just, in Australia they scrapped it because it was giving false HIV positives on certain tests.
Yeah, see, they got me
which is a little too much.
Yeah, they got me fucked up.
And yeah, I think it was like 4 out of so many thousand people they have face paralysis. And I know with every sort of new medicine,
it's gonna be reactions.
Exactly. And I think I like to be open to all sorts of types of medicines and remedies, not just Western and not just Eastern, not just modern, not just ancient, but whatever works. Whatever works. And even in the most natural sense, there's side effects of when you ingest a substance. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And so it's just so fast. We don't know yet too much about the long-term
effects.
That's what worries me. It's just like, it's so fast. Like, we can't just take our time like a little bit more. Like, exactly. Why are we rushing this? Like, I get it, but then we're just gonna have to sit back. But the government, if they want to sit there and feel like they can take our rights from us, they need to incentivize us. Like, they need to give us incentives. That's how other countries.
I've also seen something, and like I said, it's the internet, so we can't claim that it is true or false or nothing. Exactly. And I don't even want to help spread it, but there was like a poll that somebody put up, one of these blog sites, and they're like, if they said in order to get your $1,500, $1,600 stimulus check, you have to take.
I've seen that. That's super weird.
I'm saying, would you do it though? Is the question?
No, not me.
I mean, I wouldn't. Either. I don't want to be the guinea pig.
I wouldn't be paid to do something that I wouldn't do willingly, without any sort of monetary value.
like being coerced. Like, oh, you want some money?
Yeah,
like,
I would never.
You're doing bad.
If I'm gonna take the vaccine, I'm gonna take it. You're not gonna either pay me or not pay me.
That's gonna be a choice that you make on your own.
If you are gonna pay me, then pay me. But like, that's not gonna be my deciding factor.
I get it.
That's not my deciding factor.
Yeah, no, I get that, and it's so weird, bro. I feel like we're in a fucking reality show for aliens and shit. I swear, bro. The shit that we fucking.
It's so odd.
It's odd, right?
Weird.
Like,
it's very. Do you see it more? Remember, I kept telling you like a long time. I was like, I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah, more and more, it feels like a weird ass movie because it's like, first of all, it's like look at our fucking look at Donald Trump, our president, bro. We're in a fucking like this is like the weirdest reality show ever. This is like a reality show that you would see in a movie that's like
kind of a bad movie.
Like a bad cheesy movie, you know what I'm saying? Like a cheesy movie where it's a warped ass, like you look on the TV and it's like
I love you, Ashton Kutcher, but like a movie Ashton Kutcher would have been in like 2003 or
yeah, so just something that's just out of pocket. And I look at this shit, I was like, y'all motherfuckers are crazy out here, bro. Like, you know, I just I like to think positive always because I feel like positive energy is healing energy.
It's a choice.
It'll help you. It heals you. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that I won't take the vaccine. I mean, if it comes down to it and people need it and whatever, but it's just too fast for me. I'm not trying to be the guinea pig. I'm not trying to be the trial test for motherfuckers. It's like, you know what? And all these, I don't believe none of this shit when people are like, oh, well, the presidents, they're going to line up and take it first and all that's like, man, fuck that. Tell them to come line up to the hood and let me give them the fucking vaccine. Let me pull a random one off the rack and let me give it to them then so I could feel better. That's how you going to make me feel like I could take this shit.
I was trying to research so the survival rate if you do get corona is 99.9% something correct. It still adds up though. The numbers still add up and lives lost or lives off. That's
because there's always going to be a weaker part of the
society
nature that's affected, that's more susceptible to it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Nature. So when you ingest any sort of substance, there's a risk. When taking vaccines, whether it's for like the chicken pox or polio or just for coronavirus, what are the risks for, the negative effects? What is the percentage rate of that? Like, I was trying to figure that out. And they don't know if it's higher than the 99.9% of the
what's the point?
The numbers, that doesn't make any sense. The odds are not. That's another thing where I'm just like, I'm searching for information. I'm not somebody who just reads the headlines and runs with it. I'm very much not like
you
that.
Gotta do your own research.
I dig and I like to figure out what's going on, why people think like this, where the studies come from, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just trying to find it where it makes sense. And so if anybody could tell me, that'd be great. And so just so I can learn. I like to learn. I want to understand.
It's too new. How is it gonna make sense when we don't even know what it's doing?
Yeah, I don't know about any of the microchipping of the location or altering our DNA. I have no idea. No idea.
I seen a meme where it said the dude
but
goes,
it's so fast.
I seen a meme where a dude said, "You're not worth microchipping. Change my mind." And it's like, it really is true because think about it. We carry that already in our pocket. If they really want to trace us and know us, it's already in our pocket in our phone.
I know nothing, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's so fast.
It's fast.
This happened in March. This is 9 months later.
Yeah, and they were even saying 2 years when it first happened. Oh, it's going to take like 2 years maybe before we could start taking shots. And now all of a sudden they got it. What I'm waiting for that fucking commercial. You know, the Pfizer commercials where people are dancing around and they got music and may cause side effects may include death and fucking, you know what I'm saying, herpes and anal blisters and shit like that.
Is it true that there are no sort of repercussions, like legally, towards the government or towards pharmaceutical companies if, like, a vaccine goes, like, wrong?
You know what? I'm not going to say that there's
information, but I wasn't sure if that was true or not.
I couldn't tell you, and that might be a good thing for anybody that's interested in this topic to go look and research on their own. But I couldn't tell you, and to be real with you, I mean. The way this whole society and everything is set up is just wild because it's like They allowed the opioid crisis to happen, and now you've seen that they indicted the motherfucking heads of certain companies, and fucking they're going down now. And it's like, y'all know what the fuck they were doing. Why the fuck all of a sudden now it's a problem? You know what I'm saying?
That's the same thing what happened with the Contras and with the whole...
They let it happen and now it's a fucking problem. It's like, come on, man. It's like, y'all motherfuckers knew
same
what
thing
time
with
it was.
Saddam Hussein and the weapons of mass destruction. Vietnam wasn't supposed to happen.
Look, and they wonder why people have so much mistrust for the government. Look at all the little moves that they do. It's like, it's not legitimate.
Not everything is a negative. Not everybody's out to get you. Not everything is bad. Like, government, if men were angels, government wouldn't be necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's though when people start to use that power for their own selfish agendas. And we have to understand that the government is ran by people, and people are not perfect. And they don't make the best decisions the words right out of my mouth. For everybody.
Go on and get him, Patty.
For everybody.
Get in there.
And for one person to have so much say over so many people, is that how, I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know what the answer is, but is that what we want? Is that what you want? Is that what they want? I don't know. Like, so it's just odd to me. Like,
it's just weird. It's stuff
that people don't understand that oh yeah, but they're not. It's the government, but they're not perfect.
They're definitely not perfect. I mean, look at these motherfuckers, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, I believe in the country. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in all the things that this country should be about. Do I believe that it's actually about that? No. Obviously not, because there's a lot of shit that happens that just proof in itself. But it's like you said, it's like this. It's ran by humans, and humans are flawed, bro. Like, you know what I mean? People are gonna make, and for people to follow anything blindly without questioning it. Yes. You know, I have to question you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Just think for yourself, because you have that right. Like, that's your entitled.
While you still have it. Let me put my conspiracy theory on.
But let's just, like, hypothetically, let's say there's somebody who really has, nothing but the best interest that, is in government and has a political position, and they really want to do, what's good for the community. They grew up there. They want to do what's right. You know what I mean? And even with the best intentions, somebody presents them, with this pandemic situation, and they've never been through this before. None of us have really been through this before. It's unprecedented in our modern time, so to speak. And they're like, okay, well, now we have this vaccine, and, we trust this company, and this company, it makes this medicine, it makes that. So we trust them, and we're going to go ahead and say, yes, we're going to get the vaccine. People want the vaccine. We're going to get the vaccine out. They said that will get us back to, running our businesses, making money, having livelihood, having normacy again. But again, it's unprecedented. So if a mistake happens, that even the people with the best intentions, again, because we're flawed, it's so fast. For that reason, and that's how it's not about, oh my gosh, they want to get us. It's just about, this is real life.
And for that reason, I don't feel like it should be mandatory. Like, if they start trying to institute some kind of mandate, it's like, look, the best way for people to trust anything, because they said it's 50-50 right now. 50% of the population said they would take it. Another 50% has no faith and no trust in it, right? Well, the only way it's going to be for those brave souls, that 50% that are willing to take it, for them to take it. And for the other 50% to look at them and see that it's working, for them to have any kind of faith in it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be a government telling you this. It ain't going to be the doctor telling you that. It ain't going to be none of that shit. It's going to take, unfortunately, just like any other scientific experiment, it's going to take human trial and error in order for people
it's
to
going
fucking...
to take time.
Exactly. So, like I said, I'm not absolutely up against it, but I'm not for it, and I'm definitely not for mandate.
They need to have like a study where they're like, they've given it to people, and then they followed them for at least a couple years or something. But
also, you got to understand is that we're, a lot of countries are going through this, but America is ignorant and arrogant as fuck. All these people out here, all these anti-maskers and shit, is like, bro, this shit is not hurting you to put a mask on, bro. It's not hurting you, no one, and it could help.
It's not just that, though. And like I was saying, in other countries, like, they shut things down, but they gave the people incentives. They gave them their living wage to live. So people were like, okay, we'll sit it out.
Yeah. And that's what I don't understand.
So it has to come with both. Like, if people want to give up your freedoms, and you need to give us something in return if people want to do so. Like,
well, that's the thing. People are just like so gun-ho about this shit and so arrogant. They're like, it's my God-given freedom to breathe CO2 and I don't have... It's like, bro, I get that. Don't get me wrong. I get that. I get where you're coming from, but the intention is wrong, bro, because at the end of the day, a mask ain't hurting nobody. And they're only asking you to wear a mask when you go and share places where everybody else, their grandmama and little babies go. They're not telling you to wear a mask in your house. They're not telling you to wear a mask in your car. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, I don't understand it and I don't get it. It's like,
I get both sides. Because it's like...
I don't give a fuck about that. Because sides. At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt me to wear a mask. Is it annoying?
That's how
you
feel, though.
It's annoying. Yeah, but I mean, I'm for the our rights, though. I'm for the having rights and exercising your freedom and all that. But I'm also for that. But it's like, you know, the whatever the Constitution says, you know, freedom, right, life, liberty, and the freedom to pursue happiness is like, well, when you're helping spread this shit, ain't you like taking away that life, liberty from somebody else?
And there's that argument. People,
you know what I'm saying?
People like, have been arguing both sides of that. You know, this whole thing. And
like
time,
I said, I'm not here to take away nobody's freedom or nobody's liberties. I'm not here to tell you to do anything. But I'm just saying, it's like if there was a pandemic before,
you know, what was
before all this shit, and they happened to make it through it. How the fuck did we make it through that pandemic? The people were covering their fucking face. You know what I'm saying?
People died.
A lot of people did that. That's because we didn't have modern science, though, also. But I'm saying, though, imagine if everybody back then was like, fuck that, we anti-mask. What would have came of it?
Yeah, we don't
you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. We don't know that.
Yeah.
And my thing is like this, like I said, I'm all for it. I respect people. I get it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I get why people don't want a mandatory vaccination or don't trust it. I get that totally. And I'm not fucking going to sit here and tell you, I'm going to go run out and get it. But at the same time, it's like, it's going to take trial and error, unfortunately, just like how it took for this whole situation. Trial and error, people died for people to understand how serious it was. You know, it's gonna be the same shit. So I don't know. You know, I'm just a motherfucker trying to live one time. I'm just trying to get there, and you know, I would love for people to stop running away with fucking stupid ass stories that they don't know shit about, and they're just claiming it as to be true and shit. Like,
some people feel so many, like how you were saying, it was interesting because they were torn because in our state, the counties are kind of going county by county to determine whether they want to do this, you know, before. I don't know if California has done it for the whole state yet, but if they wanted to do shutdown again, you know, until January 4th. Some of them did, some of them didn't. I think one of the counties that was like right in the middle, they were like, no, we're not going to do it. You know, they actually stood up, they voiced their opinion, and they're feeling like how you were feeling. They're like, well, it's kind of selfish of them to, because they were restricting the outdoor dining again. Yeah. And the small businesses, you know, they've used a lot of their money to invest in outdoor dining so that they could stay afloat. Yeah. They put a lot of their money from those loans, you know, of course, to pay off their employees and to pay their rent, but also so that they could stay open. So Definitely. They invested in that sort of way. So they were like, we used, you know, we spent all this time, we've been abiding by all the restrictions, all the regulations, and now you guys want to shut down again. We're not going to be able to make it. So some of them are fighting, some of them, you know, cooperated, but they were saying that, you know, the county that isn't abiding by it, that isn't shutting down the indoor dining or the outdoor dining, is right in the middle. So everybody where they can't outdoor dine, they're just going to go to that county. Yeah. And that's kind of irresponsible because you're helping spread, you're bringing, you know, COVID. Your
spreader, super spreader ass
something of that nature. But then they're like, well, no, you have to show us the science that says outdoor dining is actually, you know, is a contributor to the spread, or else you can't shut us down. And I think that was kind of like the same argument with the mask, was the science behind it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was, I mean, it does kind of make sense. Like, if there's no science behind it,
well, just think about it like this.
Why are you enforcing it? This is not with the mask, but with like the outdoor dining, like.
And just to play devil's advocate, and just for everybody out there that thinks that I'm fucking, I'm a lefty weirdo or whatever, like y'all be calling me and shit. I know I'm not, and I know you know I'm not, but I'm saying people out there are gonna hear my whole little view on this and think I'm like, think about it like this though, and this is why people have doubts, okay? How many flu cases are going on right now?
I haven't done my research on that.
They said on the news that it's like almost none.
Wow, that's weird.
So how is the flu completely eradicated, but the corona is still running around? And
I heard that. I wasn't sure if that was true. Like, that's crazy.
You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
He's all looking all side eye at me, everybody.
But just so that that people understand. Yeah, it's like they have yet to make sense of this. So that's why, if they're wondering why people are out running around and acting the way they are, it's because they have yet to help make sense of this shit.
I agree.
Yet, you know what I mean? And
some of the patrons, it was funny. So some of the restaurants have tables outside, but there's no chairs, but there's still tables. Some of the patrons are, rebelling against it, and they're getting food to go, because you can still get takeout and to go, and then they're eating them at the tables.
Crazy.
So the restaurants aren't having outdoor dining, but the patrons are like, well, this is our protest, and because they're like, it doesn't make any sense. Have you seen the pictures on the internet where it's like a tent outside?
Yeah.
So we can't be inside unless the inside is outside?
Exactly. But do you see what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, just again, I don't know, people. I don't believe I have the answers, but I just want somebody to make it.
And they can't. Sense. And they can't.
I also see this thing where they were like, okay, now Amazon, because of the demand, due to the increase in online shopping, that they have to hire more staff, and their cafeterias are okay to operate, but we can't have indoor dining with safety precautions.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make no fucking sense, bro.
So it's okay if Amazon has their cafeteria open like that.
It's wild, right? Like,
but
sometimes I feel like this, like we talking to a pimp, like a pimp gonna tell you some shit. It may not make sense, but it sounds good. It's like, come on now. It's like, what really is it?
Like, this is the conversations we have. Like,
real tough.
What? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, I have no idea what's going on. You need to insert Twilight Zone music.
They're like, yeah, man, go on and wear this mask and take this vaccine. And then you could go back to eating inside, but it's only if it's outside. You feel me, baby? Be somebody. Be anybody except yourself.
I cannot. It's 99.99%, survival rate, but the vaccine is only 97% safe. So
now, go on and take that vaccine.
So you
baby.
add that together.
Put this in your life. Put this in your world, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what that's like.
That gives you 196%.
Now, and then we add that up. That's like 180%.
And now you could.
And with that now,
bang, we could open the economy.
And what's gonna stop us, baby? If you 189% safe now, you know what I'm saying? Mix the vaccine with just the survival rate, baby, and we going all the way up to the top.
Oh my god.
It's the Low Vibe Podcast. We are fucking ridiculous, I know, and we're not trying to make fun of this situation. There's something out there though. Regardless,
you have choices
people are dying.
To either sit here and to be worried about it and live in fear, or to attempt to do your best.
I refuse to live in fear.
And find whatever sort of little joy and happiness you can in whatever
I refuse to live in fear, and if small things, if I can make a small sacrifice just to help out, even if maybe it's not proven that it'll help, like a small sacrifice, like wearing my fucking mask, I'm gonna do that, bro. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying?
I wear my mask for that reason.
I wear a mask because not for me, it's for other people, family members, elderly. You know what I mean? If there's even a little chance that me wearing a mask could help prevent one of them or somebody getting hurt, then I'm aware. It ain't no big fucking deal. People, like I said, are just hella selfish and ignorant. It's like, I get why. It's
based on principle, and that's how they feel.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, okay, bro, it's not a vaccine, okay? A mask it ain't gonna hurt you, bro. It's like, it's ridiculous, bro. So I don't know. It is what it is. If y'all don't like it, y'all can slander me in the comments for all I give a fuck. But this shit's taking everything out. I mean, look at movie theaters. I'm seeing all the movies that are coming out now. They're like straight to whatever. But look, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back. It's the Known by Podcast. Yeah, I'm talking about. Bang, bang, we back. It's the motherfucking Known by Podcast, and we had to take a little quick break, but we back in it. And we were talking about movie theaters. Dun, dun, dun. This is the shit that kind of fucks with me up, when it comes to this whole situation, because it's like, I be looking at movies now and movies that been made already, and it's like, I look at them and it's just like, I can't believe that we're, we used to live like that.
What do you
walking
mean?
around just free balling air and fucking raw dick in air and fucking, you know what I'm saying? And we could go do this.
I'm so mad that I'm laughing. I laughed so hard at you.
Concerts.
Oh my goodness.
I was watching a flashback of this concert. It was DMX. I guess it was like Woodstock or some shit, like the 90s. Not Woodstock, but it was something where it was ridiculous. Like 100,000 people were in that motherfucker, and it's like, damn, bro, how we took shit for granted before, you know what I mean? Like crazy.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to be.
Don't mind me, y'all. Technical difficulties over here.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. Like,
exactly, that's how it's supposed to be. But it's like it feels so foreign now when you see shit like that. When you
I
see
totally
shit like
get it.
You know what I mean? Like, because now I look at now
like
the
you're
same
stepping
thing.
out. You forget your mask and you go on the store. You're like, oh my gosh! Like you feel like you're kind of naked in a sense.
Yeah. Don't look at my face. It's like we used to before. Man used to walk around naked and they started covering their body, and then now it's like we cover our body. Now we're covering our face. What's next?
And I think that's where the whole principle came into that. Like, remember that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
kinda
but
like,
it's just
my
dumb,
body.
bro. Yeah,
like
it's my body. Whatever, y'all. You go on and back. It's your body, but you know what I'm saying. Go on and eat that triple cheeseburger and clog your arteries up, and that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
They made some people though who are against the mask take care of themselves as well. Like, but anyways, like when seatbelts first came out. Yeah. People protested seatbelts.
How dare you? It's my right to fly out the window if I want to and I crash. Like, it's un-American.
And isn't that kind of like, well, if I want to die, like, that's my choice.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, but it's not.
And so it's like, well, it's always something like that where it's little and then it's like, well, what's the next step going to be?
But
what's
you want to know something? It's always the motherfucker saying.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's for the better good of everybody, the greater good for everyone. Like,
it's always the motherfucker saying he ain't scared to die, fighting for his life, and don't want to die when it's time to die. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that bullshit like it's my God given. Nah, get the fuck out of here with that. You say that shit, and it's crazy because like if we're gonna go by news, who knows? But like somebody who was it? Ice-T got on he got on social media and he was like, yeah, my girl Coco's dad was a very, very much anti-masker, and he was like, fuck all that shit, and he caught COVID and almost died. Yeah. And it was like, damn, bro.
I know some people who know some people. That the same thing. They're like, oh, it's not real. They know some people. Exactly. They're like, no, this is fake. They're just doing this to control us. It's not real, etc., etc. And then they got it, or they're like their nephew or somebody got it. And he got really, really sick as well. And then they're like, oh my God, it's real. Everybody's 6 feet. Wear your mask at all times.
Then they start going really hard on it, huh? Yes. I mean.
So,
It's something.
We've never been through this before.
Never.
We've never been
through it. And especially in the modern age where social media and everything else, it's like, it's so easy to call somebody a conspiracy theorist or fucking, or to fucking like, dissuade people from thinking, or believing in something. You know what I mean? It's just it's just ridiculous. That's why I tell people
it's just like people pretending that they actually know for sure when they just need to give unbiased information. Yeah, it just doesn't need to be. I just
can't stand the motherfucker that gets all his information off Facebook and these fucking weirdo fucking. It's like, look, I like conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong. I watch conspiracy theory fucking documentaries and shit like that. To me, I think it's just interesting. But am I running out here and fucking going hard in the paint and believing that's set in stone and God and all that?
Is that when people think conspiracy theories? We were talking about this the other day. They think the guy with the tinfoil hat.
Well, they said that was a term, and excuse me.
God bless you.
Excuse me. They said that was a term created by the government in order to
minimize the information.
Well, not minimum to discredit people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was. So it's like there's a little bit of truth in everything. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
So when people think conspiracy theories, they think of that guy. But they don't understand
that in an all dark room. That burning candles.
Your local politician who took money to look the other way for a crime maybe his friend committed, that's premeditated. That is that they conspired. They sat there, they talked about it, and they said...
I think it's the theory that makes it different, though. Because it's a theory based...
It's
but
the
like what you're saying,
notation associated with it.
Yeah.
So that is something that is plausible, that, you know, is like... Or even just looking the other way without getting any sort of monetary, you know, incentive or anything like that. That is something that they sat there and talked about. That's conspiring. Yeah. And for someone to sit there and to not have proof and to say, well, I think they did this.
This is fact.
At this point, that is a theory that they conspired. So when people think conspiracy theories, it doesn't have to be aliens coming for your brain and trying to probe you.
You know that.
It can be something it could be, you know, something in a way that you didn't necessarily expect it. So
these guys be so hard in the paint, though. It's just ridiculous. Bro.
I agree. Some things are so ridiculous. But I believe to each its own. I believe everybody has the right to believe whatever they want to believe in.
It's ridiculous. It's the person pumping it like it's law that's ridiculous. Yes, it's not.
That's
because a theory is that it's a theory. It's a possibility. It could happen. It could be right. It's the person that's pumping it, though, as if it's for sure fact guaranteed, and they have really no proof other than that somebody came up with. Or they need to
present that information. Like, this is where I got my information from.
So I don't knock it. Like I said, I don't knock it, and I'm into that. I like a good conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Because there's all kinds of possibilities. I watched, for instance, like you said, it don't got to be aliens. I watched. I'm a Tupac fan, right? So I grew up listening to his music or not. So I've watched a bunch of documentaries on his different stuff. They got one. It's called Tupac: The Battle for Compton, and it's like a conspiracy theory. Like, it's a whole different angle and everything about his death and why he died and what the real things behind it. It's actually a very interesting thing. Like, to think that if you know that could possibly be true, but am I running out here telling everybody and their mama like, yo, Tupac got killed by the police and it? Come on, bro.
You might talk about it though, like.
Yeah, I might talk about it. I might bring it up, but I'm not sitting here beating my chest. This is law, and especially like the Facebook motherfuckers. Like, you now, it's like, bro, like they just go extra hard in the paint. It's like, bro, relax, because when you go that hard for some shit and you're not sure, you're gonna you look crazy. And you make yourself look crazy. Not the theory that makes you look crazy. It's the way that you come for it.
You're so gung-ho.
Because what about what happened the year 2000? For those people that all these little new booty ass babies that didn't live through it, the year 2000, it was supposed to be the what the fuck was it called again? Y2K. Yeah. And the computers were going to reset, and it was going to be mandatory fucking crazy, you name it, and all kinds of bullshit. And what happened? What the same thing with the people with the crazy Trump conspiracies and all this shit. What happened? You see how y'all look crazy as fuck when y'all go that hard in the paint? Yeah, I'm just saying, it's just ridiculous.
But again,
bro.
It's something people haven't gone through before.
It's people, and people like are naturally human. They try to look for explanations for shit in order to put them at ease. When a lot of times we got to understand that this is life, and life is not just set in one way. It might be a certain way for a while, but it changes. Shit changes and moves around, so you can't be married to just one fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Life is there's common ideals and there's common things that we should all believe in, like good morals and treating people right and protect, loving your honoring the family and loving thy neighbor. That's just stuff that should never change, But there's other things and that man's created is like, come on, bro. It's like y'all knock it off. Anyways, the motherfucking movies I'm just tripping out and bugging out now because it's like I look at it and it's like seeing somebody that you used to know. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I remember you.
You guys don't see the face he's making. I
remember
you so much.
Yeah. And it's like, I remember when it was like that. For all those people, like, I don't think like this, but for all those people that had the one that got away, you know what I'm saying? And then you see that person and then it's doing so well and shining and glistening and they got their life right. And you're just looking like I almost like that. Like that was my ex. I used to have that. That's how I feel like when I see people raw dicking oxygen on TV and shit. It's just like, damn, I remember when we could go to concerts and we could be elbow to elbow standing in line for
China,
shit.
In China, in Australia, in certain places, people are.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Without a vaccine.
That's what I'm saying. But do you see what I'm saying? Are they over there bitching? And
China is a communist, government.
Of course, because they were forced to do that. But see, since we have the freedom of will. They
actually had, people had, bracelets on and, literally, authorities outside of your door if you left, and so I don't know. Do we want it that far?
But is Australia like that? No. We're just talking about China. That's one place. I'm saying, is Australia like that? From apparently, unless this is fake news again.
Again, the news, is this is based on not necessarily fact-checked information, so we don't know if they're walking around like that out there.
I don't know. I seen a meme where a motherfucker was like, y'all motherfuckers out here eat ass, but you guys are worried about wearing a mask. Come on now.
So what do we like and we don't like about the different changes in, like you were saying, like,
I just don't like how disconnected it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been, like, I've never been a big crowd person. But at the same time, I've never minded going to, like, for instance, when me and my girl first going out and doing stuff. Like, being out. Like, when me and my girl first got together, we went and did the foodie truck thing in Berkeley where they had all the food trucks and, you know, different types of good-ass food and whatnot. And you could go up there and it was on, like... You could go up there, pay for the money. It was on the Berkeley waterfront. You pay your money to get in, and then you could go and just try different foods and all kinds of stuff. And it was a crowd. It was a big crowd, but it wasn't like elbow to elbow. But it was still a lot of people there, and it's like,
no, you don't mind
that's
going
a
out.
cool
You
vibe.
like to go
like
out.
To me, I miss that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I miss that kind of stuff, and I miss the movies. To be honest with you, the movies was like my shit. I grew up.
I don't really go to the movies that often, but I like being able to have that option, and I like being engulfed in my experience, like cinematic experience.
The fucking surround sound, the smell of popcorn, and even like before this shit happened, movies were really like the movies were stepping their game up. I mean, like you could go in there and get a recliner chair and get meals brought to your thing. Like they had cheesy.
Is that the one over
tots.
there in Concord?
There's a few of them out there in Concord like that, but hell yeah, like I was digging the fuck out of it. Even if it was a lame movie, I would go in there and eat something really good and fucking recline my shit and pass the fuck out and go to sleep while everybody else watching the movie. You know what I mean? I miss shit like that. And it's like unfortunate that goes. But see, that's the thing for all the conspiracy theorists out there. It's like, if it's corporations just doing this to make money, it's like, why? Well, what did the movie theaters do wrong? They're a big company and corporation. Why are they not allowed still to function? You dig what I'm saying? It's like we gotta look at it from as many different lenses as we can. We can't just get married to one ideal or thought and think that this is what it is.
And like, do you think,
nigga, they still making porn? What's happening?
What?
I'm just saying, they still making porn. Porn's still getting made. People in there fucking raw digging. What's happening?
I don't even know where this conversation went left again. How do these conversations end up?
I don't know. Forgive me, y'all. You know this. When the idea hits, I gotta strike while the iron's hot.
What do we like and don't like about the fucking the pandemic and the lockdown? Then we started talking.
Man, who don't like porn? I'm just saying. I don't know. Anyway, anyway, but y'all know what I mean. Like yeah, just stuff like that to me. What about you?
I like
What do you miss about the pandemic? About
like I said,
life before.
I'm kind of odd. My life kind of hasn't really changed. I didn't really go out.
For all y'all that don't know, Patty's a fucking recluse, hermit, fucking fan of the opera at her own house type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, you walk through her house and it's like, you know, alien. It's like the raptors in Jurassic Park when they run by hella fast. You're like, what the fuck is that? Where the fuck's Patty at? Hey, Patty!
It's really just so like amusing to me. I like how much I like. In that sort of sense, like, have not been affected. Because I've always avoided crowds. I've always, like, gone to the stores early and things like that. So,
Patty just hates humanity, period.
No, I don't.
She doesn't hate humanity. She just has a disdain for it. Patty's already like, she's been on quarantine before this shit even thought about this shit.
Like,
Patty been in the house.
The pandemic's over. I'm gonna open my door and look outside. Like, wow, the pandemic is over.
And she gonna close the door and close the blinds and go back in her
back
room.
Back inside I go. I seen something on the internet. That meme like that. She was awesome. The girl who did that. I don't know. Like, I just don't like that other people can't do stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that. It like, because I've seen some people who just, I've seen like some of my neighbors. They just they wasn't wearing masks. They wasn't doing nothing. They fine. Their life went on. Like, they did not stop having parties. Yeah. They did what they did and they're fine. Yeah. Their life continued and nothing really changed except for like work, of course. Yeah. But they found money other ways, you know, because, you know, there's always work if you choose to have that.
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
they're fine.
Yeah.
So
there's all kinds of exceptions to the rule. You feel me?
Yeah,
like we said, it's just not one way. Everyone is just not one way.
Exactly. And so I don't like that people can't go and gather. Again, the camaraderie. Like that is. So what I liked is that it slowed everybody down to make everybody see what was really important. It
helped the environment.
It was really 2020. It was really about perspective. It was really about your vision. You seeing what's really real. Mm-hmm. It was really that in my opinion. And I like that it showed the reality of the world in a sense. Like, you know, like we have this healthcare system, but it's very fragile. Yeah. We have this economy, but it's very fragile. Yeah. Look how, you know, so it made people slow down, and I hope it makes people appreciate. We realized that our lives were luxuries. We were kind of taking things for granted.
And we've been saying that. We've been saying it on this. We've been saying that shit on the podcast before pre-COVID. Because we've had a few talks on season 1 about this type of shit. And it's just being grateful, because it's like no matter what, even if you don't like the racial injustice, or if you don't like this about it, it's like we still live a lot better in this country than a lot of the world. We are like in the top
10% of the world.
Than a lot of people in the world. You know, a lot of people in the world are starving. A lot of people are suffering. And a lot of
people don't live indoors. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. So,
people think that sounds like crazy, but that's so true. Like a lot of people live in huts or in like.
And I don't ever want anybody to confuse my criticism of how things are with lack of appreciation.
Never.
Because I appreciate where I live. I hate those motherfuckers that be like, well, go back to Mexico. I was like, get the fuck out of here. This was Mexico. But that's another thing.
That's a whole
I hate when people say stupid ass shit like that. It's like, get the fuck. You go back to where the fucking cave you guys crawled out of before you guys came over here. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, I don't like that, because like I said, I always appreciated where we are and what this country and what it could be. You know what I mean? I've always looked at it like that. But it's you know, to me, like, you're right. It's hindsight. It's to me, hopefully that. Well, I did, at least. I just gained more appreciation for life. When the pandemic is over and everything goes back to whatever normalcy we think it is, that, you know, just to be able to go to the movie theaters, just to be able to go to the fucking flea market, and to be able to fucking bareback some fucking some H2O and some air and shit like that. I mean, they are, but
they're not cracking the way they were. No.
They're not nowhere lit as they were.
I like that. I don't like that people, you know, can't go out and do what they do, but I also like the fact in a sense that they can't, because now they kind of, again, realize that it was a luxury and that we need to be appreciative that we have these luxuries. Yeah, most definitely. That our whole life is full of entertainment. And basically that's all they took away was all our entertainment.
All our privileges. Like, remember, it's not rights, privileges, because they ain't no rights really been taken yet. Yeah, for anybody out there,
that's why they're saying like the mask is a right, et cetera, et cetera. But like, what you call, so it's just like that. That's what I like about it. Like I like that. I like that it's both. Like, you know, like I like that it made everybody's. Yes, I like that it made everybody sit down and slow down. Yeah, and made people appreciate it. But I don't like that. I hope when it's all over, that when people come together, it's more genuine, and we don't allow the things that we lived without through this pandemic that we didn't need to survive, and we won't take those things for granted, and it will be more genuine, and our decisions with what we do will be more humane, and not based on superficiality.
Yeah, I think hopefully, you know what I mean, that's what that brought, like, that perspective, even though we got a lot of people that don't see it that way. Hopefully, because, you know, we're right in the midst of it, so we don't know what the fuck we're gonna feel about it 10 years from now. 10 years from now, we might be like, we fucked up, or 10 years from now, we'll be like, yo, we totally handled it the best way we could, or we don't know. We don't, because when you're in the midst of something, we're not even feeling the after effects yet. We're in the eye of the fucking storm right now, so. Yeah, I get you on that. So with that, how about we do this then? Since you know how we function and we think already, but let's put this good energy in the air. What are you thankful for since the pandemic has started? During we're not talking about like before, nothing, like currently. What are you thankful for besides, you know, what we already know? You know what I mean? Like, what are you thankful for?
I guess my perspective on being able to be resilient. Mm-hmm. Because I like to think that throughout this situation that I've kept a level head.
Yeah, most definitely.
And
it's documented. You know what I mean?
And I'm grateful that I have like people around me as well that are open and resilient in that way and don't judge, because that's really what when everything started, I was like, well, I'll be okay if we're here for each other.
Yeah.
The minute we start thinking that we're here by ourselves and it's all about me and I need this and it's only about me and what I need, is the minute it's gonna be all bad.
And that's when
so that's why I'm thankful for my perspective on like
when we started seeing shortages, that shit played itself out because people stopped giving a fuck about everybody else and just me, I need this. And
but we also seen people like, here, you can have my extra one, like, you know, we also seen that. So I'm thankful for being able to have that perspective and have those people around me that have blessed me with being able to see that and feel comfortable and secure in that. Because if you don't have, you know, the people around you that make you feel like that perspective, you know, it will just fall out through the bottom.
Yeah. I'm thankful for my health, of course, obviously the health of the people around
definitely.
me. I have, you know, I'm just thankful for, like you said, same thing, being able to keep a level head during this whole situation and not let fear rule me, because a lot of people are out there letting fear and fear mongering. Not only that, they're scared and they want other people to be scared too. It's like, don't push that shit on me.
That is the issue.
I'm the type of motherfucker that like I want to ride this shit to the fucking wheel, to the very brink of the edge before I'm gonna start reacting.
I'm the same way. You know, we're fighters though. We're stubborn though. We're stubborn in that way.
That's cool with me.
Because we're like, nah, until the heavens come down. Only God can change my mind.
Exactly. Or only God is gonna push me into a panic mode or into a fucking doing something drastic.
That's
hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, that's the issue, people. Like, please take that away. Please, throughout all of this, that's a strong point. A lot of the decisions being made and a lot of the way that things are being, that are functioning, is based upon fear. We need to be smart. We need to be responsible, but our decisions and the way that we live our life should never be based upon fear. And that's all I'm gonna say as we digress. But you weren't ruled by fear. That you were able again to see
and be able to have a cool, calm, you know, and demeanor and just an overall like
think logically
and not let the bombarding of information, real and fake, dictate how I am treating other people, treating my girl, my son, my neighbors, my, you know, just strangers. Like,
yes,
I'm not out to hurt nobody. I never have been. So I'm not out here trying to be on my Mad Max fucking, you know, apocalyptic. I gotta go shove this granny down on the floor for a pack of toilet paper shit. You know what I'm saying? Like these it's like, come on, bro. Have some dignity and some self-respect. Don't be so much of a fucking and don't be so much of a fucking puppet that anything put into the atmosphere is gonna fucking change your morals and who you are as a person and how you treat people and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're not even there. Like, if you think this is bad, believe me, it could be worse. So don't fucking start using...
We're in modern times going through this. When they were going through this in 1918, they were in those times. Right out of World War I. Like...
You know how many people lost their whole entire household?
So the depression in the 1930s, what we went through in 2008 was basically a depression. Depression is a prolonged recession. We were basically in a depression, but because we're in modern times and because we're one of the wealthiest nations in the world... Our depression deal with it differently. Exactly was a modern. So like you were saying, it could have been like
some of these people could not make it back then, bro. Honestly, they would definitely.
Again, everybody's just going through it. This is the first time going through it. Like, so
and
we just gotta be good to each other. That's what it's like.
Yeah, be good
to
yourself, man. Be good to yourself. All right, so look, this the motherfucking No Invite podcast. Y'all know what we do. We kind of did our thing, Patty. I'm not gonna lie. It's about we pushing an hour right now. We was just, you know what I'm saying, handling business. We really pretty much touched on all the topics. I wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and tap on this real quick. We're gonna keep it real light and fast. You know, a lot of people are on, you know, because we do podcasting and stuff like that. So we're a form of media of what do you call that? I guess you could say we're a form of not media but news or whatever.
Broadcasting?
We're a form of that of news, basically a news platform or news media, right?
Okay.
And they're on their lines. They're on Vlad's line right now. They're calling him a Fed because they said Casanova, the artist, got indicted not too long ago, and somebody else got indicted too. G Herbo. I don't know if it's exactly similar situations, but they said they used interviews that he's done as a way to gather information and fucking, as evidence, formulate their indictment on him. And I just wanted, and people are like, oh, feds, this the feds, you the feds calling this motherfucker. It's like, look, man, I'm gonna spell it out as clear as fucking possible. All you internet babies, nobody is making you answer these questions. Nobody's making you go on these platforms and answer these questions. Yeah, he might ask some suspect questions and stuff where you're like, damn, why is he asking that? But nobody's telling you have to answer it. Nobody's telling you have to put all your money on Instagram. No one's telling you have to fucking, you know what I mean, tell all your moves and post up your videos of punching on people and fucking, you know what I mean, sit there and go on live and talk about how you clapping motherfuckers. No one's telling you that. That's
Instagram the feds? Because no one's telling you to post your guns on Instagram.
That's what I'm saying.
Is Instagram the feds because it's their platform you're using?
Exactly. Who's telling? Are you the feds? You done told on your motherfucking self. Are you the fucking feds? You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is the logic. So I'm bringing this up only because I'm trying to enlighten people and trying to make them understand and stop using other fucking shits as a cop-out when you're the one that's doing the fucking bullshit. You're the one that's telling on yourself by doing this. You need to take
accountability. Really big on accountability.
And being someone that's been incarcerated before, I'm going to tell you like this. No, they can't throw you in jail for showing your gun on camera. No, they can't throw you in jail for throwing your money on camera. No, they can't throw you in jail solely for you saying that you out here and you committing crimes. But what happens is when you eventually get caught for a crime, they bring all that stuff to paint a picture so that if you do try to go to trial or you do try to take it in front of the judge, they have all this supporting the claim already that they're trying to make against you. So no, they can't do this for the gun, and no, if you flash a gun or if you punch on somebody and that person ain't pressing charges or whatever the case is. But when you do catch a case, because if you're living that type of lifestyle, what they're gonna do is they're gonna bring all this stuff,
information,
and they're gonna present it along with the accusation that they have of you already, and that's how they're gonna nail your ass to the wall.
They're gonna paint a character of you.
Exactly.
They're gonna put you in a box based on the information they have.
You're giving them everything that they need.
So think about what you're doing.
Everything that they need to put you away.
Now, we have to understand, was Vlad's intention when he was asking these questions?
It doesn't matter, though. At the end of the day...
Is a journalist would you consider him a journalist?
He is a journalist, yes. Okay.
So do journalists have obligations to what they ask and don't ask? Still people.
No, I mean, you're a journalist. I mean, for
example, if you are a journalist and somebody committed a crime, would you ask them about anything about the accusations? I
have a thing about myself that is, I'm not going to be asking people stuff that's going to make them look bad. That's not the kind of journalism I'm in. Okay, Vlad is in a documentary style journalism where his journalism is to document lifestyle, culture, and events that have taken place within that culture and lifestyle. Of course, he's gonna ask stupid questions, but that's because that's the way society is functioning nowadays. People, like I said, he could ask these questions, but it ain't no different than him asking a question than a motherfucker going on Instagram, like I said, and fucking showing his fucking money and his guns and where he traps at. It's like. You don't have
accountability needs to be taken on both sides.
No, accountability needs to be taken on the person because you don't have to answer any question. Just like if the cops pull you in for fucking whatever questioning, it's up to you to answer a question or not. If you want to answer it, answer the questions. Do whatever. If they ask you stuff, just know. But any lawyer will tell you do not answer anything because you will incriminate yourself.
I agree. I think in the way like, what can I do to put myself in the best position that I can?
Exactly.
And try to take all that within my own power.
I don't give a fuck.
But it's just like, again, to play devil's advocate, isn't it like, again, if I was a journalist, there's certain things that I wouldn't ask people.
Yeah, of course.
Just because I wouldn't want to be treated that way. in a certain way, so I'm not going to treat somebody else that way. I don't care how many likes or followers or sort of hype I get from it. If it doesn't sit well in my soul, I'm not going to do it.
See,
so I wouldn't ask questions that may incriminate others as well. So I know that, but that's my accountability. So when I'm asked if I was to do that, I would feel kind of bad because I'm like, I asked him that question. I should never ask that question.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
But see, that's
I would
the thing.
never do that.
But that's your perspective. You're like, okay, that's how I am. Maybe Vlad ain't like that. Maybe Vlad is really trying to be a documentarian, right?
Yeah.
But this, like I said, at the same time, the account. This is where we can't shift blame to nobody but themselves. You have to be responsible for your own actions and what you do and don't do. Nobody should be just because they have a platform, just because of this and that. You be answering questions that you shouldn't be answering. Like I said, are we gonna fucking call Instagram a snitch? Are we gonna call Twitter a snitch because the motherfuckers are on there doing shit, threatening people and saying shit? No. And that's the thing. It's like motherfuckers tell on themselves, and then be like, "Where's the snitch at?" It's like they're gonna bring a mirror to your trial, bro, and they're gonna sit the mirror down right there in front of you and be like, they're gonna be like, this motherfucker right here is our number one witness.
I agree, because there has to be accountability. Everybody has to take accountability in whatever part they play in, whatever the case may be. So I totally get that.
You're the only one that's privy to some information.
Did you use the word privy?
Yes.
Yes.
If you're the only one that's privy to information, you're the only one that's accountable, that should be held accountable if you do not use it, or if you do use it, or if you put it out there.
Yeah, no, in this situation, Casanova is, if that's, I haven't read too much into it, but if that's the situation, yeah, baby, you cannot. Don't tell people information to anyone that you don't want them to know. And then I would say it'd have to be like 90% Casa and then 10% Vlad, if anything.
It's all Casanova and none Vlad, because you don't have to answer anything. The buck stops with you. Period. You don't have, you're not in a court of law. You're not mandated to say anything. So
that's true.
What the fuck? You go on there and you do it to build your allure and build your fan base and to make yourself look like the hardest of the hard.
That's just so funny to me. That's so crazy,
that's the thing. Look,
baby.
we don't even have the whole information about Vlad. Like I said, we don't even have the information about Vlad. And for all we know, it's just because Vlad will ask you about your background and what you've been through and what you've done, and you know what I'm saying. And for the most part, you know, if you're currently still living that kind of lifestyle, you shouldn't probably answer none of that. That's just that's just me. Like, that's just common sense, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, but see, social media makes everybody think that they could be a star. So you got motherfuckers going on there flashing their guns and doing stupid shit, and then it's free a real one. I can't. There's too many snitches out here, bro. I can't do what I do because everybody's snitching. Yeah, it's you.
It's true, and it's just like I don't.
It's you snitching. You the reason. You the problem.
To a certain extent, it's like we just gotta. People gotta.
For all you motherfuckers on there telling on yourselves and shit. When you go to jail, stab yourself. Just know that. Stab yourself for being a rat. You know what I mean? Just know that, because you doing it to yourself. There ain't no mystery man behind the fucking thing. They ain't no 9 times out of 10. It's if you're on there doing that stupid shit online, it's you that's doing it.
And again, that's where you got to look to yourself. Like, why do I feel like this? Remember, like that's always like, why do I feel like I have to have like somebody who set me up in a sense, who snitched on me, because you don't want to take accountability.
Exactly.
And it all comes down to like, why am I feeling like this?
And that's all it is. It's and when you have accountability and you practice, and
they don't want
to.
People don't want to say, "Bro, I did this to myself."
Yeah.
People don't want. I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do, is to sit there and be like, "Man, I messed this up. I have
no one to blame but myself.
I messed this up." But then you can take the power back and switch it. So, hard lesson learned. You know, you gotta.
Hopefully, you make it out. You didn't fucking do something that cost you your whole life.
Yes, exactly.
And you learn from it. But it's like at the same time, the lessons have been there from the beginning. Like,
always.
The lessons have been there from the beginning. It's just
we all have to learn them for ourselves.
We live in a.
But that's really what it is. If people are doing that, it's because they don't want to admit that, man, I did this myself. And it's just like with anything, like you, most likely you understood when you were doing that it was illegal. And, you know, we all got to get it how we live, and to each its own. But we also just have to acknowledge the reality of the situation. This is the risk that I'm taking. This is what I have to do. And you can't have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, people have to realize, like,
I feel like the same people that
you have to accept the consequences.
Trying to justify what Tekashi did snitching are the same people that are saying that Vlad is snitching. I'm like, well, which one is it, bro? Like, you're saying if I was him, I would have did that too. But then it's like Vlad snitching.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it's like, come on now, like motherfuckers ain't never happy. You know what I'm saying? That's ungrateful ass people in life.
World.
Period. People
like,
are stupid.
One end's gonna say this, and the other end's gonna send this, and you're gonna be in the middle trying to be torn if you're trying to please everybody.
Me, I'm just gonna live my life like I've been doing, super sucker ducking and mark missing and staying the fuck away from people.
Just do what you believe in. Live your life in the things that you believe in. Like,
with that being said, it's the motherfucking No Invite podcast. You can find us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. This is episode 12. Make sure that you guys go to our Instagram and follow at no_invite_podcast. You could also find us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films. That's FILMZ. You could also go follow Patty at 16th World on Instagram. If you got some topics and some dope stuff that you guys want us to talk about, make sure that you guys leave a message. Be respectful. If you slide in DMs and talking crazy, you will get blocked. Or you'll just get totally fucking torched by me because I love fucking arguing with people on Instagram. So I live for this shit.
It's Petty Kruger over here.
Yeah, Petty Kruger. This Petty Riley. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but with that being said, we out of here. Y'all have a blessed one. Be safe. Cover your fucking face.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Especially after the bathroom.
Wash your fucking your dusty ass balls if you're out there fucking doing too much. And that's it. What?
Yeah.